Suppose the length of time between consecutive high tides is approximately 12.5 hours. In Savannah, Georgia, high tide occurred at 3:30 a.m. on June 28, 1997, and low tide occurred at 9:45 a.m. The depth of the water at high tide was 13.2 feet, and at low tide, the depth was 2.2 feet. Make a sketch of the water level as a function of time. Okay, so if I'm thinking of a day, right, because 12 and a half hours is part of a day, if I'm representing this as 0 time, okay, then at 3.5 hours, right, into my day, I have a high tide of 13.2 feet. Okay, so that's 13.2. Right. Then at 9:45 a.m., so that would be represented on my timeline as 9.75, right? Because 9:45 is 9 3/4 hours. Okay, so 9.75, I would be at 2.2 feet. So we'd be back down here. And then after 12.5 hours from the beginning, okay, so I have to add 12.5 hours to 3.5. Okay, so just a little quick math, 12.5 plus 3.5 is 16. Okay, so over here it's 16 hours, right, because I'm measuring in hours. Then I'm back at 13.2. So there's a sketch of my graph, and it's looking very cosine-like. Okay, so in order for it to be a cosine graph, I need some more information. I'll need to know my A value, my B, my H, and my K. Okay, so the A value comes from amplitude. It's going to be a positive value because that's a positive cosine graph. And amplitude is found by taking the maximum, 13.2, subtracting the minimum, 2.2, and dividing by 2. Okay, so I have my handy dandy calculator ready for this little math, right? So 13.2, take away 2.2, and then divide that by 2, and we have 5.5. So the amplitude is 5.5, and so our A value is 5.5. B value is going to be found from the 2 pi being divided by P. So I need to know what P is, and in this instance, P is the period, which is 12.5 hours. Okay, so this would be 2 pi divided by 12.5, which is 4 pi over 25. Okay, so 4 pi over 25. H is the shift from the y-axis. So if I'm looking from here to here, is a distance of 3.5. So my H value is going to be 3.5. And K is my maximum, which in this case was 13.2, minus my amplitude, which is 5.5. Okay, so again, grab the calculator if you need to. 13.2 minus 5.5, 7.7. So I put it together, 5.5 cosine of 4 pi over 25 times t for time, right? And then it was a shift of 3.5 to the right, so minus 3.5, and then plus k, because we went up 7.7. Okay, so we're going to put this into our graphing calculator in order to answer the questions. So I'm going to bring up my graphing calculator. I'm going to go to the graphing section, and I'm going to enter 5.5. Well, actually, I'm going to check and see what is the settings, because this is radian measurement, and good, I'm in radian measurement, so I'm okay. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to enter 5.5 cosine of 4 pi over 25. Now, I told you guys this in class. The 4 pi over 25 has to go inside this parenthesis, so we're going to create another set of parentheses in just a minute. So control divide to get the fraction up. We're going to have 4 pi over 25. And now I'm going to do another set of parentheses. Whoops. First, I'm going to get out of the fraction. Then I'm going to do another set of parentheses. And in there, I'm going to put x instead of t, because graphing prefers that, minus 3.5. And then I'm coming out of both sets of parentheses and doing the plus 7.7. Okay, so enter, and I have the graph. I'm not so much interested in the graph itself. When did the next high tide occur? I don't even really need the calculator for that, because I know 16 hours later is when the next high tide occurred, because it's approximately 12 and a half hours, right? So, so we've gone 4 hours past 12, right? Because 16 minus 12 is 4. So that would be at 4 p.m. Okay. So what was the water level at 11 p.m. on that day? Okay. Now this might be worth our calculator time, because 11 p.m. is not on my graph, okay, and I would have to do some extended work there. But if I come up to my graph here, this one goes to 10 o'clock. I could play with the window and go out further. I could do some tracing, or what's probably going to be easier is I can go and call up a table. So menu 7, and then I'm going to do a split screen table. And at 11 p.m., so 11 p.m., I need to do 12 plus 11, so that's going to be when x is 23, that's going to be 11 p.m. Okay, so going back to my calculator, I want to scroll the table till x is 23. Almost there. And at x is 23, I have 2.58622. So we're going to call that 2.586. So 2.586 feet. Okay. All right. I'll be doing the next example on another video. So if you'd like to see another example, please go to the next video.